When we decided to build this van, we had a couple items that were a high priority. One, hot and cold running water, and two, an onboard toilet. And we decided to go with a composting toilet because the benefits of convenience quickly outweighed the negative of the maintenance and the upkeep of running this type of toilet. So today in this video, I'll walk you through the steps that it takes to putting an onboard composting toilet in your camper van. The composting toilet that we went with is made by Nature's Head. And the reason we got it, the reviews were very high, it was readily available in Canada, and it would fit in the spot that I allocated in the van. There's many different types of composting toilets on the market, so it really doesn't matter which brand you pick. They're all basically the same. They all have a jug for liquid. They all have a base for solids. And then your top has a deflector. One for solids, and you close it and it defers liquid into the holding container. So they all basically do the same thing. You have to do a couple things to set these up. One is you're going to need a 12-volt power source because there is an electric fan, a 12-volt fan, which looks just like a computer fan. And you're also going to need to vent it out the back or out the bottom of your van. So I'll show you how we did it, and then you can plan out your own setup. Once you've picked out your spot for your composting toilet, you'll need to do a couple things. You'll need to run a vent line. This line here will run from the side of the toilet, and in my case I put a hole in the floor and vented it outdoors. And you're also going to need a 12-volt power source. So one thing you're going to want to watch is when you hook this 12-volt power source, make sure that the fan is running in the proper direction. It shouldn't be blowing back into the van. It should be blowing out of the van. So just watch for that. It also has a couple mounting brackets down here. So when you mount the toilet in, it's nice and secure. No issues. So once you have it all plumbed in, you have your vent. The vent line goes on the side, and the 12-volt power supply also hooks up on the side. Then you're going to need a medium, or a material that goes in the base where the solids go. A few different materials you can use. One is peat moss. That's what we use, simply because it's readily available for us. And in the spring I'll buy a big cube of peat moss, and that'll do us the whole travel season. You can also use cocoa fiber. You can get that at nutrition stores and some animal bedding kind of places to get that. You can also use sawdust. There's a couple differences between them. Cocoa fiber will absorb water faster, but peat moss breaks down and decomposes material faster. So, but either one, it's going to work. You have to wet all these materials before you put them in, and we are going to mix up a batch for our toilet here. Now the next step is to activate the peat moss. And we're going to do that by adding a little bit of water. So it's a bit of a technique. You don't want too much water, and you don't want not enough water. So what I usually do is I start with a little pile like that, and then I'll start stirring it in. And what you're looking for is when it starts to get clumpy. So right now you can see it's loose and it's, it's so fine that it's a powder. But once you have the right amount of water, you're going to see it's going to be clumpy. So just keep stirring. Add a little bit more water. It's like making a cake. A little bit more water. Keep stirring. Okay, so starting to get a little bit clumpy. Just going to add a little bit more water. And if you make it too watery, then just add in some more peat moss. Balance it out a little bit. Because you need it to be clumpy and damp, not wet. And then this mixture is going to go straight into the base of the composting toilet. Okay, so we're pretty clumpy there now. See, the dust is gone and we're down to clumps. Perfect. So the proper level on these is exactly up to the bar of the agitator. So this agitator has a handle on the side and it just turns and it churns. So when the solids are in there, once or twice a day, just give it a little churn like that. And the material will break down just perfectly. So with your damp material, fill it up just so that it hits the agitator bars. So let's just take a minute before we load this back in the van and talk about how long it'll last. So that material that I just put in, there's two of us travel in the van. Depending how often you use it, I could easily go 1 month. I could probably go 2 months on one load of peat moss. But what we usually do after every trip is I'll empty it, clean it out, recharge it with new peat moss. If we go for a longer stay, then I just automatically do it once a month. And these come apart fairly easily, so to clean them, first of all, every day you're going to want to empty the urine bottle, and it's very easy to do. Lift up your top, pick out the bottle, go and empty it somewhere, rinse it out, use a little bit of vinegar that eliminates any smell, and it goes back in. When it comes time to clean the actual toilet, you simply open it up, the top comes off. A lot of people will then take a garbage bag and they'll put over the base and then flip it over and get rid of all the material into the garbage bag. Tie it up, dispose of it. What I usually do, because I have lots of land and forest around me, is I'll just find a spot in my garden, dump it into the garden, rinse it all out good, and then it's ready to start over again. So again, about a month. The urine bottle, I would do it, say, every 2 days. But other than that, they're very convenient, easy to use. They don't take up a lot of space, so let's get this one mounted. And once you have your toilet fastened, you simply hook up your vent line and your power system, your power cord, and you're good to go. Close the lid, put on your cushion, and there you go. You now have a composting toilet in your van.